They had 42 of us down in a space that would only comfortably fit like 15, so...
So I got up and got ready, and of course it was early, yet again, excursions usually are. And I was running a little bit behind, so I didn't record a good morning clip for you all, so we're doing post-commentary on this. But anyway, I made my way down to the theater, which like I've said is the meeting point for all the excursions on MSC Meraviglia. Some ports will direct you to a meeting location on the pier outside the ship or something, but usually you start out in a theater or lounge and they guide you to where you need to go. And after getting off the ship, all of the transportation was waiting for us right outside the terminal, and they checked my ticket, and then I got on a Palm Tours bus with everybody else, and soon we were making our way over to the beach. The beaches in Aruba are definitely beautiful. Honestly, if you wanted to just have a beach day, that would be the perfect place to do it, and they have all kinds of like beach break excursions and even like all-inclusive things that you can book on your own. But I'd never done the semi-sub experience or even like glass bottom boat or a full submarine, so the semi-submersible was what was on my agenda for the day. And they took us out there on a sort of ferry type shuttle boat, which gave great views of the surrounding area, and then we docked up next to the main boat and got on board. There was an outdoor upper level of the boat, but they guided us down into the inside where the main action would be taking place, since that's the part that is submerged underwater. It took us a while to board because the ladder going down is quite steep, and you're inside this tiny long skinny room that's got windows all around, and it's a pretty tight and interesting space down there, and the seats were these little flat pieces of metal that folded down from the wall. The first thing we explored was just like the coral reef and surrounding area, and that was interesting. There were quite a few fish, and the water was clearer than I was expecting. But then we went over to a shipwreck, and at first the water was kind of murky and we weren't able to see a whole lot, but then when we changed angles, all of a sudden the shipwreck came into view, and it was super impressive. And as you can see, there were literally tons of fish down there as well. All in all, from the time we got on the ferry boat to head towards the submersible experience and coming back to shore was about an hour, and unfortunately we weren't given any time to be out on the beach or anything. There was a bar there, and I thought about staying and maybe trying to figure out transportation back, but ultimately I got on the bus and they took us back to the ship. I was pretty hungry at this point, so I made my way immediately up to the marketplace buffet. I didn't even drop my stuff off at the room or anything, and I grabbed a plate of food, including pizza, fries, and those mozzarella cheese balls, and then took the great glass elevator down to the 10th deck, and I went down the hall and to my room.
Alright y'all, so I am back from the thing. It was interesting. Definitely smaller than I thought it was going to be, and not as long. We were only down there for about 45 minutes in the little semi-sub. Very tight quarters down there. I almost got claustrophobic at first, but I adjusted. They had 42 of us down in a space that would only comfortably fit like 15, so... The actual views were pretty good. The shipwreck was super impressive. But one thing I will say is that I started to kind of get a little seasick down there. I forgot to take Dramamine, which I normally do before any sort of excursion because the bus drivers and taxi drivers and stuff can be a little rough sometimes. But the bottom of the boat is kind of like a thing that sticks down from, it's a regular boat, but it has like a bottom piece, which is the actual submerged part. And that kind of rocks back and forth like this the whole time. And with the glass windows and the claustrophobia, I was really starting to feel it there towards the end. I didn't get sick or anything, but I definitely felt queasy and was ready to go when it was over. So that would be my advice is if you're prone to motion sickness, make sure you pop a pill or wear a patch or whatever you do to help with motion. Because it was interesting, it was fun. And the tour guides and everybody were super nice. And yeah, Aruba was lovely. It was such a beautiful day today. Beaches were gorgeous. I just wish I would have spent a little bit more time out there. But when we got back, I was like ready to go kind of chill for a little bit since I was so shook up. But I'm feeling better now that I ate. I'm going to probably still continue to chill for a little bit. And then I want to go up before sail away, get some footage of Aruba and the surrounding area because it is a nice port. And last time I was in Aruba, I was actually in quarantine sick, so I missed that port on my MSC Divina cruise last year. So it's nice that I actually got to experience Aruba today, and I'm looking forward to the second half of the day, but I'm also kind of tired, so who knows, I might end up taking a nap or something, but there's more to come. All right, y'all, so it is the evening time. I skipped dinner tonight. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling like doing sit down and I'd like to try maybe get wings at the pub or something. They also have Scotch eggs, which sound good, so I'll try that as well. I've never had them before. But yeah, so that's what's next. Food and things. One thing, so MSC Meraviglia is a smart ship. Let me turn on this light so we can have it. It's a smart ship, and it's one of the first that MSC launched as a smart ship, which means there's a fully integrated app and everything, you know, is nicely accessible through the app, and it's electronic and all that, right? Even when you order a drink from a bar waiter, they scan your card into a little machine that sends the order to the bar and all of that. So my question is, if that's the case, then why are they still printing all the stuff? This is what, day 6? And look at all this paperwork that I have here. 6 days worth of paperwork, times, I don't know, 3,000 people on board or whatever. But anyway, not trying to rant or anything. I just find it kind of weird that they're still printing everything, literally everything, when almost everything is fully electronic now. But anyway, food and stuff. We'll talk soon.
So I made my way up to the pool deck, and the first thing that I did was do a couple laps around the walking track, and while I was doing that, we started to get ready to sail away from Aruba. So I got some footage of the immediate cruise port area. As you can see, it's a pretty nice port, and I just love the way the Dutch Caribbean architecture looks. And then from there, I made my way down to the promenade because that's where the pub is located, and that's where I plan to eat dinner for the evening. When I sat down, they immediately started pouring my favorite Dos Equis beer, and then I asked for a food menu, and they put this kind of newspaper placemat in front of me. I ordered the chicken wings and the Scotch eggs, and honestly, I could have just done one or the other. In the future, I'll probably just do the Scotch eggs because those were the better of the two items. It's basically like a hard-boiled egg that's been wrapped in sausage and then fried to crispy goodness. Yeah, can recommend. And it also came with a basket of fries and some veggies. And in total, including automatic gratuities, it came out to about $15. And it was all super delicious, and I was left very stuffed. And I had a couple more beers while I was sitting there, and then I left and made my way up the stairs and down the hall to my room.
All right, y'all, so I am back. I have my ticket for my excursion tomorrow. I did the glass bottom boat thing today, and then tomorrow I'm doing the like a cave and city tour, something or other. Lots of walking from what I understand. So I picked excursions that were different from each other, so I could, you know, kind of try a little bit of everything this cruise. So we'll see how that goes. I have to get up early again. But then luckily after tomorrow we have a sea day before we get to the Dominican Republic. And then after that we have those 2 sea days at the end that take us to New York. So the majority of it, the bulk of it is already done at this point. And so I just have a couple of more ports to worry about getting up early for, and the other days I can sleep in. But anyway, the food was okay. The wings were a little bit lacking in flavor. I felt like it could have had more buffalo sauce, or it was more like almost like a dry rub. So they tasted almost like plain wings to me with a little bit of seasoning on them. They definitely needed more. The Scotch eggs were really good, but very filling. So I did my best to eat as much of it as I could, but I left one wing and about 2/3 of my second Scotch egg, and I felt real bad, but you know, whatever. So yeah, the thing I like about the pub and the like kind of like specialty dining that's not crazy over the top expensive is that it's easy. It doesn't break the bank, and on days when you're not feeling like going to the dining room and you're tired of the buffet, you can order something like that to kind of like give you a little bit of a boost. So it was enjoyable. The pub vibe is really nice. They had just got the live guitarist in there. It's starting to get busy because they're going to do some sort of like big trivia game show, something thing in there. I'm not going to it. But yeah, so now I'm back in the room for a little bit, and then I'm going to go see what I can find to do for the evening. Can't stay up too late, but that hasn't stopped me so far, so I'm sure I'll be up late and up early tomorrow. So yay, more to come, and We'll talk soon.
So I made my way up to the pool deck, which always looks super nice at night, and of course that led me to the pool bar, where I had a few rounds of drinks with all of my friends and stuff there. All I'd had to drink all day was a couple of beers, but at this point I was in a whiskey mood, so I had a couple of whiskey drinks, and then I ended with a Coke. I don't know why I was craving Coke so much on this cruise. I don't normally drink a lot of soda anyway, but when in Rome, may as well indulge a little bit. But after a while, I was done with the bar scene for the night, so I said goodbye to everybody and made my way back down to my room.
Alright, y'all, so that is a wrap. A little bit early. It's only 11. Not that that's super early, but since I have to be up like around 8 tomorrow, no, 7:30-ish tomorrow, I figured I should maybe call it a night and get some actual sleep before an excursion. But I do have an excursion tomorrow. It's like a city tour / cave exploration something. As I mentioned earlier, I believe, essentially like a bus travel / walking tour. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm suspecting that since it starts early, it ends early. But we'll find out. We're not in port very long tomorrow. I think we leave at like 3 or something. So all aboard is like 2:30 or whatever. So can't stay out too long either way. I could be wrong. I could be thinking of a different port or something, but I'm pretty sure we leave early. But yeah, I'll keep you posted on that. I want to thank you all so much for traveling with me. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all those fun things. We'll talk soon, and y'all have a good night.